Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making an updated hero wish list now that Sinbad will be available for placement onto that. Okay, I'm going to begin by talking about the recommended wish list for beginners, and if you do not have any of the heroes which I'm listing here built yet to Mythic Plus, I recommend you definitely put these heroes on. So I've thought about it and I feel like I'm pretty sure and confident about which heroes are the most important to be putting on here. Okay, for the light bearers, we're gonna be putting on Tunisia. She has uses in certain Dream Realm bosses like Necrodraken, and she's also good in AFK stage pushing, especially in this season, and for the Iron Almas control team. And so she's a really important hero to have on your account, and you want to get her to Mythic Plus or above. Number 2, now you have a choice between Vala or Rowan. If you don't care as much about PvP, then you should go for Rowan here. Rowan will help you again in AFK stages, and also he's fine in PvP. Vala is a purely kind of PvP hero, but she is a really good PvP option. And so personally, I would recommend Vala, but I could understand if you wanted to go for Rowan. But in the long run, Rowan also does well for even AFK stages with like one copy of him. You don't need him to be very highly ascended, and it should still work out for you. Okay, moving on to the A levels. In my opinion, I still think even though Sinbad is pretty good, I think you need to get Merrily and Corrin to Mythic Plus at least on both of them, and then you can begin going for Sinbad. After these two are done, I do think Sinbad is the third best option, but I think you should not skip out on Merrily or Corrin because these heroes do have some uses in Dream Realm. Even right now in Necrodraken, they're both part of one of the top teams up until Hell Mode. And for example, before you have Lily May built up, Merrily is a great damage dealer option for Dream Realm bosses. So as you can tell from the list already, we're focusing a lot on Dream Realm because Dream Realm is an area that if you can do better in, you're going to get more rewards for your account, and this is going to apply for the whole time you're playing. And so if you begin working on your Dream Realm heroes, it's going to be a long-term value for your account, and that's why we're focusing on that. Moving on to the Mullet heroes, I think it is definitely Smokey, hands down. He's useful before getting to Endless Mode, and at Endless Mode, he's a hero you want to use in pretty much every boss for his damage, as well as the attack buff he provides. And number 2, I'm going to have to go with Mikola. Definitely Shakira is a consideration here. He has some Dream Realm uses, but Mikola is going to be overall much more used in Dream Realm. She powers up the attack of your team, and she also gives haste buff to your allies. So I definitely think you need to go for Mikola. Try to get her to, I don't know if you want to take her all the way to Supreme Plus. That is like her maximum potential. But yeah, definitely I would probably keep Mikola until Supreme Plus here and Smokey until Mythic Plus, and then maybe begin going for Shakir. You can delay Shakir. He's not as important for your account as the other two here. Now moving on to the A levels, definitely is going to be OD and Coco. No question about it. Coco, damage reduction, she's a great support for many Dream Realm bosses, and when you're more early game, you need her to keep your team alive, and she's a great option. Odie deals a lot of damage, and before getting to Endless bosses, he's one of the key damage dealers you run in your teams for Dream Realm. And so definitely Odie is a hero everyone should build on their account, and he is a top priority. After we're fully done making the wish list, then I'm going to talk about like maybe third and fourth priorities. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the wildest. It's going to be the same as what I have here. Iron, because for AFK stages as well as PvP, and Lily May for massive damage, great in Dream Realm, great in PvP. She's a must-have hero. She's one of the key Dream Realm heroes you're going to be using before getting to Endless, and even in Endless boss mode, because she deals true damage. So definitely Lily May, you need to get her to Mythic Plus as quickly as possible. So she has to be here. Now here we have the difficult decision. I've changed my mind, and now I'm going to say Almas and Arden as A-level heroes for the Wilder. And because Arden and Almas, these are two key parts of your AFK stage pushing heroes or teams. And if you can push high in AFK stages, you can level up faster, and that can help you compete with other people, again, in the different various game modes. And the thing is, the other hero which normally was recommended here was Damien. And Damien, I would say, is the third best option. But Damien is mainly a PvP-oriented hero. For AFK stages, he's hardly used. He's good for PvP. However, you can pass on him. You can use other heroes in place of him up until you get Ultimus at least to Mythic Plus before you swap out. And really, Supreme Plus is a maximum potential of Ultimus. So I would leave him here till Supreme Plus. Arden is a great damage dealer for PvP. And also for AFK stages, he's essential in the Iron control team. So this is so far what I recommend. And now for Graveborns. Definitely it is going to be Thorin. He's useful in Dream Realm as a tank, and he can revive himself. He can Soul Pact and protect your ally if he is at Mythic Plus. He's great for PvP. Now for the other hero here, I'm going to have to go with Carolina. She's great for AFK stage pushing, and she's also a good PvP hero in like Iron control teams. So Carolina, I think, is a must-have and must-build on your account, and I would say she belongs here. There is an argument for Ludovic. Ludovic has some uses in Dream Realm, like, for example, today in King Croker, he is a part of the best team with Talion. But for the most part, Ludovic is not going to be the best option for Dream Realm, for pre-Endless or post-Endless. So I don't think just building him for one specific team for Endless King Croker is really a worthwhile investment. Because other than Dream Realm, like, he's not really a needed hero to have on your account. I do think he's good, and definitely after you're done with Thorin and Carolina, I would say go for Ludovic after that, but I think Thorin and Carolina are more overall useful. And then we have Sylvina Viperon. These are the two best A-level Graveborns that you can go for. Sylvina is good in PvP, and has some Dream Realm uses against the Lone Gaze boss sometimes, and then Viperon is great for PvP and mainly PvP. In battle drills, you can use him in. Okay, for like the passage teams. The other two heroes here are just not too great for the Graveborns. Okay, so this is my recommended wish list. You can take a look at this and basically copy it down. Now, I'm going to talk about third option. So after here, Rowan is the option, and after Rowan, I would say Cassidy. Cassidy is very niche. She was useful in the Plague Creeper Dream Realm, or the Plague Creeper Primal Lord, but other than that, normally Cassidy doesn't see much use. After the Merrily and Corrin, I would say Sinbad. Sinbad has useful debuffs. He has some uses in Dream Realm, sometimes even being the best option. And he has pretty good PvP use as well. So overall, very well-rounded hero. Definitely a top-tier A-level Lightbearer hero, but the thing is we have such important ones which are Merrily and Corrin, which you can't pass up on. So Sinbad would be number 3. And then from that point on, it's up to you. You can go for whatever you want. Mikola and Smokey, after that I would say Shakira number 3, and then after that Elsa number 4. Elsa is key for the Orson Dream Realm boss in Endless mode this season, so for the next 3 months if you have Elsa built, it's going to help you get a higher score. So she is going to be important, and she has like that unique factor like casting ultimates more rapidly that synergizes with Corrin, for example. So I think she's the number 4, but Shakira is more important because Shakira has some Endless Dream Realm use and pre-Endless Dream Realm use. For the Maulers, I would say after you're done with both of these, and I would take them both to Supreme Plus to be honest, then you can begin working on whichever one you want. Kruger is good as a debuffer for some Dream Realm bosses, and if you ascend him, he can get off a little bit of damage on his own. Seth is good for some certain different game modes, like Ravage Realm was an area where he was actually really important. Now for the Wilders, I would say after you're done with Iron of Lily May, you can go for the other, you can fill it out with whichever other heroes you want. Haywin is a good healer, Granny's a decent tank, Floribel is a decent like summoning unit, but I would probably say Haywin and then maybe Floribel. And for A levels, I would say Lenya, or no, sorry, we do go for Damien for PvP, and then number 4 would be Lenya. Although there are arguments for Prissa. Prissa has some PvP use if you like her, but personally I don't think she's a top tier PvP hero. And for Battle Drills she's great, but Battle Drills is not like a really important game mode because as long as you're actively playing, you should be able to clear the boss for the 500 diamonds. And so I would do Prissa number 5. I would say Damien and then Lenya. Lenya has not really any Dream Realm boss use, but she has some PvP use. She comes really close in some pre-Endless Dream Realm teams, actually being the top option in pre-Endless, but once we get to Endless, I don't think she's going to be the greatest. So Lenya is not like a necessary hero, but I think she's more overall good for your account than Prissa, and that's why I would recommend that. We've already mentioned Ludovic after Thorin and Carolina, and then I would say probably Nara after that. And but by the time that happens, things might change because new heroes will be added. So overall, that is my recommended wish list just to take a look at. And now we're going to move over to the Epic Recruitment. For the Epic Recruitment, it is pretty simple. You have to have Lily May, you have to have Smokey, and you have to have Mikola, in my opinion. These are the 3 key heroes for Dream Realm, and especially endless bosses, almost all 3 are used in almost every single boss. Then number 4, I would say, I would honestly say Thorin and Iron. And let me explain my reasoning. So Thorin, he has some use in Dream Realm bosses, especially when you're more early game. He's a great option as a tank to always run. Soul Plunder increases the damage your team deals for the most part. So overall, he's just a good hero. He's also good for PvP. He will help you there. And he can be decent in AFK stage pushing too. Iron is really key for AFK stage pushing. He's synergized with Almas, and you're trying to build Almas from your wish list. Iron is a core hero for your account. Get him to Mythic Plus. You don't need to get him to Supreme Plus. Mythic Plus would be enough for him to have his immediate ultimate cast. But if you want and you really like him and you want to use him in PvP as well, I would take him to Supreme Plus. And eventually everyone will want to have Supreme Plus Iron on their account. And that is my recommendation. Now, after you get these heroes built up, like I said, the next priority would be Shakir, then maybe Elsa, Temesia, around on the same level. And then I would probably say either Carolina for AFK stages or Ludovic for more potential boss content, or Valor for PvP. Those would be basically the other heroes I would recommend onto this wish list. Floribel, I don't know. I mean, Floribel is fine, but I'm honestly not a huge fan of Floribel, even though she does pretty well for me on my account. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it a lot. Okay, finally we're going to go to the Stargazing. So for the Stargazing, number 1, it's a really difficult decision now. Honestly, Freestro is so dominant in Endless. Like, if you take a look at the Endless boss teams right now, every single one of them is using Freestro, other than, I think even Snow Stomper was using it. So Freestro is such a dominant hero for Dream Realm. For Endless. Before getting to Endless though, he's useless. So that's the thing you have to kind of weigh and consider. Rainier at Mythic Plus is really good before getting to Endless. When you get to Endless boss modes, he is not used in all of the teams. He's used in maybe around half of the teams, so Freestro is better than the Rainier. Also, if you build up Freestro first, he helps you in AFK stages. So I mean, it is up to your preference. I don't know, like, Rainier, the good thing about him, you only have to get him to Mythic Plus and then he's done. He's completely finished, you do not need to upgrade him further. Freestro and the other heroes here, you'll want to get them to Supreme Plus eventually for their maximum potential and stats. You could go for Freestro first, at least getting him to Mythic Plus, and that would help you with AFK stages, maybe with PvP, and it would also help you in endless boss modes of Dream Realm. However, getting Rainier to Mythic Plus first will help you in pre-Endless bosses. He's used in pretty much all of the teams. And in Endless, he's used in some teams as well. And you can always put together a decent, pretty much Rainier team if he's at Mythic Plus. So the thing is, Rainier at Mythic Plus allows you to run many different team options. Freestro still wants like Mikola. He wants like those supportive heroes who help him and power up his damage more. Shakir. So like he's more dependent on other heroes on your team. So I think overall, I have to still say Rainier to Mythic Plus first. But next up is definitely Freestro after Rainier to Mythic Plus. And then from that point on, you choose between Scarlita or Talene, or if any other meta hero comes out by the time you get there. But I have to say Rainier first. Rainier is too important for your account, so you need to get him to Mythic Plus first, in my opinion, and then you go for Freestro. All in for Freestro, get him at least to Supreme. Because Supreme is where you get like a major stat upgrade. You're also able to increase his exclusive equipment up to plus 15 at Supreme. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about this wishlist in the comment section. And but yeah, basically the key thing about this game, play actively, play regularly, have a good wishlist in place, and over time you're going to acquire the heroes you need. And you just have to be patient with the game, and use all of your diamonds and recruitments on the regular epic and all hero recruitment. Do not use rate up recruitment. Rate up recruitment, when you take a look here, the base rate of an A level is 3%, and the base rate of the actual rate up is 1%. Which means most of the time you're only going to be hitting this hero on pity. And only 3% A level. Now if we take a look at even over here, there's a 20% base rate for an A level hero. Like, you're going to be missing out on so many A level hero upgrades and building by recruiting on the rate up. I had no idea it was so different here. So that is kind of the issue with rate up recruitment. Now, the only time to recruit on rate up recruitment, if you want to be efficient, is if it is a game-changing breaking hero. Like when Lily May was on Wait Up Recruitment, okay, you have to recruit for her. But even when Mikola was there, you do not recruit for her. Gradually over time, you get her from your wish list. And that's even what I did. So this is the thing. You have to be safe, smart with your resources, and over time, you're going to acquire the heroes you want from Epic Recruitment and All Hero Recruitment on your wish list. You do not need to recruit for them on Rate Up unless they are a game-breaking hero. Like Lily May. That was the only hero I would recommend, like to be efficient, to be recruiting on Rate Up. All the other ones you should pass and then later on acquire them through your wish list. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's me for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.